As of today, in a big way, we have inaugurated abcnews.com.
A lot has changed in our world since Peter made that announcement. But what hasn't changed is the commitment to groundbreaking reporting and innovation at abcnews.com. And here's to everything ahead.
This is ABC News Live Prime.
Thanks so much for streaming with us.
Live reporting, breaking news, exclusives, award-winning, powerful, eye-opening. ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis, streaming weeknights.
Welcome back. California is banning the sale of gas-powered cars by 2035. The landmark decision also aims to double the number of zero-emission vehicles on the road in under 4 years. But will people be able to afford those vehicles? Chief National Correspondent Matt Gutman spoke with California Governor Gavin Newsom.
Late Thursday, California regulators voting to make the tailpipe go the way of the horse and buggy.
Madam Chair, the motion passes.
All right. Yay!
The new directive will require California to double the number of zero-emission vehicles on the road in fewer than 4 years. And it'll outright ban the sale of gasoline-only cars by 2035.
In California, this is a game changer as it relates to the environment. There's nothing else that will move the needle on greenhouse gases more than tailpipe emissions.
California is the 5th biggest economy in the world, and 50% of its greenhouse gas emissions come from transportation. Governor Gavin Newsom today calling the plan a tipping point for the country, with 17 states, including New York, expected to follow.
Our opportunity now to tip this for the rest of the country presents itself.
In a statement to ABC News, Ford praised the ruling, calling it a landmark standard that will define clean transportation. Newsom saying statements like that future-proof the ruling.
The companies will lead that charge. They know where the future is.
Environmental groups say the plan does not go far enough, while auto trade groups consider the speed of change too fast. They cite supply chain woes, most notably the critical minerals used in batteries. And Diane, there are two big challenges here. The first is infrastructure. Can they build enough charging stations fast enough? The second is affordability, and this is a big one. Right now, electric vehicles are about 50% more expensive than gasoline-powered vehicles, and industry analysts expect that to change, however, in the coming years as more competition enters that space and drives down prices. Diane.
All right, Matt Gutman, thanks for that. And some Boston officers are being praised after saving a father and son whose boat crashed in Boston Harbor. The two were out lobster fishing when suddenly something went wrong. Will Reeve has the story.
Hang on. A heart-stopping rescue.
We're so weak. I can't. All right. Help him up, please. Help him up first.
Boston Police Harbor Unit rushing to save a father and son stranded at sea, holding on to just a cooler.
There we go.
The officers racing against the clock to get the pair out of the frigid New England water.
Once we saw the boat first, I think we both knew right then that, yeah, there were two people somewhere here. You could see the fear in their face. They were cold. They looked very tired and weak.
Police say the two men were out lobster fishing when they became entangled in a trap line, causing their boat's engine to fail. The current pulled the 28-footer into the rocks, causing the vessel to take on water, leaving the men stranded about 8 miles from the Boston seaport.
There you go. Crawl up.
Officers first assisting the 75-year-old man.
Any medical issues other being called?
No.
All right. Grab a seat right there. I'm just going to help him.
Followed by his 30-year-old son.
Please. I can't hold on much more.
The pair suffering scrapes and bruises, but grateful to be alive.
Come on in, grab a seat.
Amazing story. Thanks to Will Reeve for bringing us that, and great action on those officers. Coming up, the mission to the moon, years in the making. We'll take you behind the scenes of the Artemis mission days before a major milestone.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers.
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
Here at the White House.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
We're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go. We made it.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
Bring them on.
If only there was a place in the morning to start my day.
with a smile, somewhere to help me get in the know. A place as spectacular as, well, me.
I think we might know a place, right, guys?
Bring your friends. Oh, wait, there is.
Good morning, America.
GMA, 7A, every day. Boom, boom, boom.
Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Robin. Good morning, America. How are you?
Boom! Now that's how you start your day, people.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
Yes. So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 12 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
As of today, in a big way, we have inaugurated abcnews.com.
A lot has changed in our world since Peter made that announcement. But what hasn't changed is the commitment to groundbreaking reporting and innovation at abcnews.com. And here's to everything ahead.
This is ABC News Live Prime.
Thanks so much for streaming with us.
Live reporting, breaking news, exclusives, award-winning, powerful, eye-opening. ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis, streaming weeknights.
Welcome back. We're getting a look inside the mission to the moon, years in the making. The Artemis mission is set for what could be a historic test launch Monday, and it could pave the way for the next race to the moon and be a game changer for the future of human space travel. Our transportation correspondent, Gio Benitez, has the story.
It's been more than half a century since we pioneered a way to the moon.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
In 6 remarkable missions under the Apollo program, America landed 12 men on the lunar surface and changed the very nature of what humans are capable of.
There's a huge sequence of events that has to happen. It really changes their perspective on everything.
It's a dream come true. Now NASA's next era of lunar exploration, called Artemis, is set for liftoff, and it will push the bounds of humanity and our place in the cosmos.
You're answering questions that just really haven't been answered before.
Everybody is just focused, but also excited to be where we are.
This time, we're going to the moon to stay. NASA's goal is to establish a permanent moon base that will be the gateway to Mars and beyond.
We're going to the lunar South Pole, where we're hoping to find in-situ resources that we can use. We're planning to set up a base camp there on the surface of the moon and develop technologies and operational practices that will set us up to go further on to Mars.
And a next-generation space race is brewing, this time not between the U.S. and Russia, but NASA, SpaceX, and China's secretive moon mission. All that starts with NASA's first Artemis test flight Monday that will send an uncrewed spacecraft around the moon to ensure all systems are go before the first mission with astronauts aboard in 2024. To get there, NASA will be using its highly anticipated Space Launch System, or SLS. It's the world's most powerful rocket, 36 stories high, and exceeds the mighty Saturn V of the Apollo program in many ways.
We have a lot going on, but we need to stop and be in that moment and celebrate that success, because the team that makes that possible, they've been working on this for years.
Years of work to design a spacecraft like the Orion crew capsule, the mission's human-rated module that can support up to 4 astronauts.
This system is a blend of technologies. It utilizes material systems that have heritage all the way back to the Apollo era. Very similar chemistry. So physics are still the same 50 years later.
The only difference is the size. Apollo 3 astronauts, our vehicle can carry 4.
And when all that rocket fuel ignites, well, you know what comes next.
The rocket takes off, we eject the solid rocket boosters, the launch abort system comes off Orion. The whole rocket is trying to get these 2 pieces into Earth orbit. So just one lap around the Earth, checking them both out. Our mission control will make sure everything's healthy. We're committed to the moon after only 90 minutes. Right after that, Orion is going to separate from the upper stage. and Orion will continue on its way to the moon.
The journey will take Orion 3 days before it reaches the moon in the quiet of space. On future Artemis missions with astronauts aboard, Orion will link up with a dedicated lunar station in orbit around the moon called Gateway.
The Gateway is going to be a lunar outpost around the moon. It will be a permanent space station.
Here, astronauts will be able to transfer from the Orion capsule to their lunar lander spacecraft and maintain strong communications with Earth.
We can bring an Orion vehicle in that drops off the crew, and then we have the lander, right? 4 crew will come up in Orion, 2 will stay on Gateway, 2 will go down to the surface.
Designed to be expanded, the station can add more modules if and when new missions and partnerships develop.
For many years, we've had this wonderful, global presence with our International Space Station. Gateway gives us an opportunity to create a permanent lunar presence and continue that international cooperation.
The Gateway station will also be capable of adjusting its orbit to allow access to all regions of the moon, something the Apollo missions could not do.
Behind us, we've got the Halo module that's actually being built by Northrop Grumman. This right here is our training module that will go over at the Johnson Space Center for our crews.
The station is still here on Earth, with an expected launch no sooner than November of next year. For this first test flight, the Orion capsule will simply gather data on deep space radiation levels as it orbits the moon's surface from a close distance.
So we're going to do a close approach to the moon. We'll only be about 60 miles from the surface of the moon.
The Orion capsule will also fly by the dark side of the moon, where it will break the max distance record of a human-rated spacecraft set by Apollo 13 in 1970. From there, it's a careful trek back to Earth. The capsule will be traveling at 32 times the speed of sound and will need to slow down. A gigantic heat shield protects everything inside from re-entry temperatures that exceed 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's very effective at isolating heat and rejecting the heat of re-entry, even at those energy levels, and protecting the spacecraft and the crew.
Parachutes finally deployed to bring the craft to a comfortable 20 miles per hour for touchdown off the coast of San Diego. This first Artemis mission is expected to take 42 days to complete.
This mission being successful is a sign to the world and to the American people that we've been doing our best with your resources, and so thank you. We owe them that.
And while no humans are on board the Orion capsule just yet, candidates at NASA are busy preparing for a lunar mission in the near future, performing tasks and exercises in one of the world's deepest pools to mimic lunar conditions for astronauts. The Artemis program will put the first woman and person of color on the moon and lay the foundation for crewed missions to Mars and beyond.
I love any opportunity we have to work together and cooperate, and it kind of puts us above, space above it all. And something I've heard every astronaut I've talked to and asked about their time in space has said when they look back at Earth and see how fragile it is and how beautiful and wonderful it is, it really changes their perspective on everything.
All right, thanks to Gio Benitez for that, and tune in Monday at 8 a.m. Eastern for full coverage of the Artemis 1 liftoff to the moon space launch right here on ABC News Live. We'll be right back.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
Here at the White House.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
We made it.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
Bring them on. If only there was a place in the morning to start my day. With a smile, somewhere to help me get in the know. A place that's spectacular as well, me.
I think we might know a place, right, guys?
Bring your friends.
Oh, wait, there is.
Good morning, America.
GMA, 7A, every day. Boom, boom, boom. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Robin. Good morning, America. How are you?
Boom. Now that's how you start your day, people.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
Yes. So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do? I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 12 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
As of today, in a big way, we have inaugurated abcnews.com.
A lot has changed in our world since Peter made that announcement. But what hasn't changed is the commitment to groundbreaking reporting and innovation at abcnews.com. And here's to everything ahead.
This is ABC News Live Prime.
Thanks so much for streaming with us.
Live reporting, breaking news, exclusives, award-winning, powerful, eye-opening. ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis, streaming weeknights. ABC News, America's #1 news source.
Good morning, I'm Diane Macedo. We want to get right to our top story. The Justice Department is expected to release the redacted affidavit justifying the FBI search of former President Trump's Florida estate. DOJ prosecutors had argued the needed redactions could render the document meaningless, but the judge disagreed, saying it could still provide meaningful information to the public about this historic search. Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas has the latest.
A federal judge has ordered the Justice Department to release by noon today a redacted version of the affidavit filed in the search of Trump's resort. The blueprint, which reveals what federal prosecutors were looking for and why it was so urgent to take the dramatic and unprecedented step of raiding Mar-a-Lago. As of last night, the Justice Department had no plans to appeal the judge's decision. So today we expect to see the release of the affidavit with some critical information omitted, including the names of witnesses and where the investigation may be heading, with hints of who may be the targets. An investigation so sensitive, President Biden was not briefed on the search.
I didn't have any advance notice. None. Zero. Not one single bit.
The Justice Department had argued that a full release of the affidavit could expose grand jury information, the direction of a highly sensitive national security investigation, and put potential witnesses at risk. Prosecutors told the court a heavily redacted document might be meaningless to the public. But the judge has decided that more information must be released. And there's the possibility that the document still could provide some investigative narrative and additional details on the origins of the probe and the search, including negotiation with President Trump's legal team and perhaps a suggestion about the timing of the raid. Republicans have been demanding answers.
If you're going to use the Espionage Act, and if you're going to pursue this criminal investigation, you have to prove intent.
According to a newly released document from the National Archives this week, President Trump had more than 700 pages of classified documents when he left the White House, including some of the nation's most sensitive secrets, among them so-called special access programs, materials which may relate to national defense and other intelligence.
The fact that this had markings like top secret, sensitive compartmented information, or that applying to special programs is really terrifying from an intel perspective.
The former president had been negotiating with the National Archives and DOJ for months to return these materials and was even subpoenaed for the documents. Sources telling ABC News that in June, an attorney for Trump claimed in a statement to the Justice Department that all such materials had been returned. But when the FBI searched the property on August 8th, more classified secret and top secret documents were recovered, including top secret SCI, which may involve nuclear secrets and intelligence from allies, electronic eavesdropping, and spies. Trump's team has argued that he had declassified the documents but has provided no evidence to prove it, and that some of the classified material may have been planted by the FBI, a claim he has also offered no evidence to back up. Diane?
All right, Pierre Thomas, thank you. And let's bring in our investigative reporter, Catherine Falders, along with ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer for more. Brian, Trump's attorneys have not openly opposed the release of the affidavit, but they also didn't formally request its release in court, despite how many times Donald Trump called for that publicly. What's the strategy there?
So, Dan, I think the strategy is to see what the DOJ puts out. And this is a strategy that every defense attorney would use. It's not specific to Trump's team. But whatever the DOJ puts out or whatever the court allows them to put out, then the defense gets a second bite at the apple to then say, okay, this isn't enough and push forward, because it's hard to say what is or is not there without some sort of rubric or some sort of initial release of the information. So they're probably gearing up to make a push to get even more information, regardless of what we see today.
Catherine, some Republican lawmakers have called this investigation politically motivated. Democrats have rejected that. Could this document change any minds here?
Well, look, I don't think that it will ultimately change any minds. I think Brian is right about what we might see from Team Trump and his allies, a push to get more information, perhaps. But also you could see, and I've already heard this from some Republicans I've been talking to this morning, that they will just capitalize on this. They will say potentially this document exonerates Trump, even though there will be none of that roadmap, none of those investigative details in this document. So, look, I think we'll have to wait and see. But I don't think that in terms of Republican support or Republicans on Capitol Hill, that it will necessarily change any minds in terms of the politics of that. But the public opinion, obviously, is still up for debate.
Now, Brian, Trump's team has filed a motion to halt the Justice Department's review of the evidence seized from Mar-a-Lago and appoint a special master to review that evidence instead. How significant is that, and what's the status of that request?
So that request is still pending, and I think the significance is that they're basically saying this judge who authorized the search warrant, because oftentimes when you are criticizing the bounds of that warrant, you often have to go back to the judge who may have actually signed off on it, especially if there's no indictment or arrest as we have here. So what the Trump team is basically saying is we want a third party, we want another person who's a little bit more removed from the ins and outs of this search warrant to review it, but that may be premature based on where we are right now in the process.
So, Catherine, what do we know at this point about the evidence that was seized?
So, look, we know that there were 27 boxes. This was at the beginning of this month. 11 of those had classified information. We know, and you heard in Pierre's report here, that this was some of the most sensitive intelligence. We're told that some of this was labeled SAP, Special Access Programs. Only a few people have access to this material.
This is an ABC News special report.
I'm Whit Johnson in New York, and we're coming on the air because the Department of Justice has just released the redacted affidavit that the government used to justify its search of former President Trump's home at Mar-a-Lago. Again, these documents just coming out. You can see right there on your screen, many portions of this heavily redacted. But we are getting some revealing information. So let's bring in our Chief Washington correspondent, Jonathan Karl, and our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas. Both of them will help break this all down. Pierre, let's start with you because you are getting some important information as it relates to probable cause.
With the affidavit is heavily redacted. Large portions are blacked out to protect witnesses and where the investigation is headed. But a newly released document with the affidavit makes clear that the investigation is ongoing and active, noting that there are, quote, multiple civilian witnesses that need to be protected from intimidation or retaliation. But the main thing that the affidavit does is walk us through how this investigation unfolded. First, the National Archives in 2021 learned that there were a significant number of missing presidential records from the Trump administration. As a result of negotiations with President Trump, 15 boxes were sent from Mar-a-Lago to the National Archives in January of this year. What they found was deeply disturbing. Highly classified materials. National Archives officials were so concerned that they turned over the boxes to the FBI this past May. We have a breakdown of what was in those boxes. There were 184 documents marked classified, among them 92 secret and 25 top secret. And there were other documents apparently even more sensitive, including one that involved secrets designed to protect clandestine sources. Another highly classified document involved national defense. The affidavit makes clear that the FBI found probable cause to believe there were additional documents at Mar-a-Lago which potentially impacted national security. The affidavit also claims there was probable cause to believe there was evidence of obstruction of justice at Mar-a-Lago. Federal authorities believe they found the missing documents that they were looking for, and now they're urgently trying to protect these witnesses and the information.
Pierre, thank you. And stand by for us as we walk through this. Let's bring in John Carl, who obviously has been following this very closely. And John, we know the Trump team has suggested openly and publicly that they wanted this affidavit to be released, but they never actually made that case in court.
The former president said he wanted the material released. His spokesperson reiterated that demand, but they were absolutely silent in court on this. When you look at this information, even as heavily redacted as it is damaging, I would argue, to the former president. You see that there is that the FBI saw that he had removed considerable amounts of documents marked classified, and this they knew this well before the search of Mar-a-Lago. This was in the 15 boxes that Pierre just mentioned had been turned over after a lengthy negotiation that ran most of last year to the National Archives. And that the Justice Department is outlining what they believe are evidence of crimes. And by the way, one thing that's addressed, although in a heavily redacted way, is the argument that has been made by those close to Donald Trump that he had somehow declassified all this material, and therefore there was nothing at issue here. That argument is mentioned, and then the response to that argument, much of it is blacked out. But what is pointed out here is the concern that the material was placed at Mar-a-Lago in a way that was not secure, and it goes through in some detail the strict laws. I know what you're familiar with the way classified material must be viewed. There are, it has to be done in a secure location. In fact, while Donald Trump was president, there was a setup at Mar-a-Lago called a SCIF, which would ensure that material could be viewed and discussed in a way that couldn't be penetrated by people trying to eavesdrop. Well, none of that exists anymore at Mar-a-Lago, and the concern is that this material, highly sensitive material, was stored in an improper way at Mar-a-Lago, where not only Donald Trump would have access to it, but potentially many other people.
And I think the other thing that's worth pointing out here is, while this search of Mar-a-Lago may have come as a shock to so many Americans, this was a process of back and forth between Trump's team and the National Archives and the DOJ that lasted more than a year. In fact, I think it's worth going to some of the timeline here, because the National Archives had pursued these documents for months, as we pointed out. And earlier, as Pierre mentioned in his reporting, in June, the FBI visited Mar-a-Lago, and an attorney for former President Trump claimed that all the classified material had been returned. But then again, on August 8th, when the FBI arrived with that search warrant, they found documents classified secret and top secret. And again, that's what is being revealed here in this unsealed affidavit, including some of the highest documents with some of the highest levels of classification. So let's go ahead and bring in now Mary McCord. She's the former DOJ head of National Security Division, now a professor at Georgetown University. Mary, thanks so much for being with us. And you, of course, were in charge of the division that is doing this search here. So you have some special insight. And I wonder, from your take on all of this, we've heard about the probable cause and the possibility of obstruction. What stands out to you as far as possible crimes that may have been committed?
Well, we've had only a few minutes, of course, to skim over the affidavit, but I do think it's significant that this isn't all just about the mishandling of and retention of classified documents or documents that are national defense information. I mean, that's one of the crimes for which the warrant sought evidence, right? There were probable cause established in this affidavit that evidence of 3 different crimes would likely to be found at Mar-a-Lago. One of those involves the unlawful retention of classified information or the mishandling of it or transmitting it to others. And this affidavit, unlike the warrant cover sheet that we saw a week or so ago, actually specifies the subsection of the law 793E, which is about that unlawful transmission or retention of national defense information. But notably, the other 2 crimes that are mentioned are, one is an obstruction offense, and and one is an unlawful taking of presidential records, which don't have to be classified at all. And the obstruction offense, I do think it's notable that at paragraphs 52 and 53 of the affidavit, which are partly unredacted, there is reference to this letter, which is attached in full to the affidavit, a letter from the former president to the Department of Justice, making arguments that the president has authority to declassify anything, that the laws about mishandling classified information don't apply to him, and that DOJ has a duty of candor to share that information with any court that would be considering any type of warrant or any type of legal process. And so that makes me wonder a little bit if there is some concern that those arguments being made back in May were also potentially part of an obstruction effort.
Barry, thank you again for your time today. You know, this has been a fast-moving process. It was just yesterday, a few hours after the DOJ submitted its proposed redactions, that the judge appeared to be satisfied with it and then ordered that redacted version of the affidavit be released a day later. So that's what we're looking at, again, right there on your screen, 38 pages. You can see just how much of it is blacked out, but that's for specific reasons that are laid out here to protect witnesses, grand juries, sources and methods, things that could compromise the progress of the investigation. I want to bring in one of our legal contributors here at ABC News, Brian Buckmeyer, who's been following this very closely. And Brian, walk us through what happens next, because we know that the Trump team has also requested something called a special master, and just wondering how this all plays out moving forward.
So the next steps are for the Trump team to look at what is and what isn't in this memorandum affidavit that we're looking at. Now, for most of you looking at it, you think, well, the middle of it is basically blacked out, but the beginning and end has some information, but the end is actually an attachment, a letter from the Trump team to that of the DOJ. And the beginning is just a lot of case law. So there's not a lot here when you think about what did or didn't happen. What the Trump team is going to do is take this and try to pry open as much information as possible. They can either ask, as they've done, to have a master look at it separate from that of the judge who issued the warrant, or they can ask for an attorney's eyes only, where they can maybe look at it, promise not to send it out to anyone else or even to their own client, and try to make the arguments that are appropriate, because the next steps that may happen would be an arrest and an indictment if the DOJ feels that they can prove these charges beyond a reasonable doubt.
All right, thank you. I want to bring back our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, because you've been covering the Justice Department for 2 decades, really. And you pointed out in an internal email to us, and forgive me as I'm sharing it publicly here, but you never in the time of your entire career have really seen something like this where they release this much information so quickly. Why is this such an unprecedented case?
Well, clearly because it involved a former president of the United States. The Justice Department was under enormous pressure to give some sense of why they raided the president's resort. They knew they had to give additional information. You saw the judge, the magistrate in this case, realize that it was such a significant...
I guess that it's more fashionable what it's happening. It's more attractive, even if it's dreadful for many people. But what is happening in Mexico with the capture of Chapo's son, right? The affidavit, what? We have to be talking about Mr. Chapo. Related to los jóvenes, los niños, Mr. Salvador Crescencio, the Health Department, Defense Department, he mentioned, está ligado a los, ¿cómo dijo? Los nuevos, los niños, o algo así. Anyway, what's going on, Donald Trump?
And who may have seen it. Pierre, thank you. Let's bring in Brad Garrett. He's an ABC News contributor and former agent with the FBI. Brad, I want to ask you specifically where this investigation goes from here now that some of this information has been revealed.
So keep in mind with that, all of the information that's blacked out are investigative techniques. They're references to individuals. To move this case forward, you have to go back to what they had even before they went to Mar-a-Lago. And the reality is, there is apparently a lot of evidence to support many of the allegations that you had attorneys talk about today. So the FBI will continue to do what it always does, is put this puzzle together. They'll look at wiretaps. They'll look at other witnesses. They'll look at movement of documents. They'll look at CCTV, like you do in any other case, obviously with a lot of scrutiny. But all I'm suggesting is this case was much further down the road, I believe, than many of the cases I've worked on in the past because of the special circumstances. Obviously, a former president. That's not going to slow DOJ down and the FBI in moving forward.
Brad Garrett, thank you. Let's bring back Mary McCord. And Mary, I know that you've been taking a few minutes here to kind of pour over some of these other pages here. Do you get any indication that the Justice Department plans to file charges anytime soon?
Well, I think that to answer that, we have to also look at the redacted motion to keep certain portions under seal that was also just released today. And that makes it very clear that the investigation is very much ongoing, right? That there are witnesses whose identity needs to be protected. There's ongoing investigative steps that the DOJ points out, if they were revealed in the affidavit, could lead to someone being able to obstruct the investigation, right? And then, of course, there were the 6E grand jury material that's redacted, law enforcement identifications to protect law enforcement officers, and third-party confidential information. So all of that shows, and the vast number of redactions shows this is very much an ongoing investigation. There are still investigative steps to take. And so I don't think we should be expecting anything imminently in terms of charges. I mean, remember, they gathered lots of boxes. They've got to go through them. They've got to really assess in great detail. And that is potentially being held up by this separate motion that Trump has filed for a special master. So I do, I agree with the FBI agent, former FBI agent you just had on, that they would have been fairly far along before they took such an overt step, but I don't think they're there yet. I think there's more work to be done.
Mary, thank you. Let's bring back John Carl because I want to get back inside what's going on at Mar-a-Lago. What are you learning about how the Trump team plans to respond? There have been some reports, some questions.
That's it. It's my airplane. iHeartRadio. Okay. What did the wise men bring the youth? I didn't get anything, Elias says, because I'm not a good person, she says. Jukebox. Uy, jukebox. Jukebox. See right here. No. Say that you love me.
marcha Draguilandia, la juguetería que cuesta menos. 30% de bonificación en monedero en todos los juguetes Joy and Phone. Ejemplo, camión Extreme Venture, transportador de autos.
Carnalito, muy buen día, mi compadrazgo. Como pues podrás big in Japan. Hello, Johnny.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning. What is the date today?
Today is Friday.
What is the month?
Month is January.
January. How do you spell January?
January. January.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And now tell me, did you write your letter to the wise men?
Letter?
Yes. That was the homework. Yes, I did. No, I didn't.
No, I didn't.
Okay, we can do the homework right now. So just follow me.
Okay, teacher.
Dear wise men.
The wise men.
Dear.
Dear wise men.
Dear wise men. Dear magic kings.
Dear magic kings.
Thank you. This year, well, last year.
Last year.
And this year.
And this year.
I've been.
I've been.
Yes. Do you know the spelling of I've been?
I've been.
Yes.
Sorry.
No problem. Bless you.
Thank you. Is yeah. No.
It's in the chat.
Okay.
Thank you. And this is the meaning.
You see that.
Yes, I've been patient, understanding, helpful.
I've been
sympathetic, empathic, creative, annoying.
A good person.
I've been a good person. Let's try to get 5. Patient.
Patient.
Yes. Patient with the people, patient with the situations. What is the meaning of patient?
Patient.
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 Yes, sorry for my terrible pronunciation on Friday mornings. The meaning of patient is paciente.
Patient.
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 Yes, maybe it's new word for you.
With the persons.
Yes or not? It's not an obligation.
Yes.
Yes, patient. Thank you. Understanding, creative, talkative.
Understanding.
Yes, what's the meaning of understanding?
Entender.
But as a person?
Entendiendo.
I would change it as comprensivo.
Okay.
Punctual. Annoying.
Repeat, please, teacher.
Yes. Annoying. It's because we're trying to find descriptions for your attitude during 2022 and the little part of 2023. Remember that according to your response depends on the gift from the wise men. academic, nerdy, abusive, simple, offensive,
Academic.
academic. Yes. How do you spell?
ACADEMEC.
I
Academic.
see. Very good. Academic. And what's the meaning?
Académico.
Yes, like estudioso, comprometido. Academic. Thank you. Two to go. Two and we finish.
Um, and how do you say in English? Responsable.
Responsible.
Responsible.
Yes. And the last one, last but not least.
And the last.
Grumpy, ignoring.
Ignoring.
Ignoring. They're ignoring people. When you're like Pedro, 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 and Pedro is like, no, 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 no. I am just proposing adjectives that to your behavior. It's nothing. Just an example. Saving, ahorrador, ahorrativo.
Ahorrador.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Saving. Do you have any plan? Do you want to buy something or do you want to go on vacation?
Really? No, I don't have any plans.
Plans, but you're saving money.
Yes.
Thank you. For the future.
For the future.
For the future to come. So right up there. Dear wise men. Repeat after me.
Yes.
Dear wise men.
Dear wise men.
This year.
This year.
And the last year.
And the last year.
I've been. Thank you.
Patient.
Patient.
Patience. Understanding.
Understanding.
Academic. Responsible.
And
saving.
And saving. Yes.
Yes.
Everything positive, nothing negative. So. S-O. Do you remember that connector?
Yes. So.
That's a connector. So. I'm asking you.
I'm asking you.
I am asking you.
I am asking you.
Asking.
Asking you.
What is the spelling of asking?
2 minutes. Preguntar. No.
What the spelling is?
Spelling. Sorry. A-S. K.
I-N-G.
I-N-G.
Asking.
Asking.
I am asking you. I am demanding you.
I am demanding you.
Yes. You must bring me.
You must bring me.
You must.
You must.
Remember, must is the verb for obligation. You must bring to me.
Bring to me.
Yes. What do you want? There's no limit. A piano, a swimming pool, a helicopter, a Lego toy, or blocks, or a teddy bear, or a doll, or a Batman doll, or a Funko, or a bottle of wine.
Toys of table. It's
Toys
correct.
to use in a table.
Yes.
No, what is that? As for example,
For example, loteria.
lottery.
Lottery.
No. Where's the doctor?
Yes.
Those have a specific name, which are
No.
board games,
Board games
table games.
or table games.
Yes, board games or table games. Which one are you missing?
Sorry, teacher.
No problem. And stay at home with cover yourself. I know you're a little sick, right?
Yes, I feel ill.
But what about the other day at the Gomichelas asking for more?
No,
This is not me.
in the no, Wednesday, I went take the photo with the wise men in Revolution Monument.
Okay, this is a beautiful place.
Yes, and hacía mucho frío.
It was very cold.
It's very cold.
It was.
It was very cold.
And were you wearing a jacket?
Yes.
Yes, I was.
Yes, I was.
Were you wearing a scarf?
Where I
Where were you wearing a scarf?
Scarf.
It's a piece of cloth that you put around your neck.
I understand, teacher.
Don't worry, what is the spelling of scarf? C-A-R-F. And I repeat.
Scarf.
Were you wearing on Wednesday when you went to get a picture with the wise man? You have to show it to the class. My question is, were you wearing a jacket? And you responded to me, yes, I was. Then my following question was, were you wearing a scarf? And we don't know what a scarf is. So the explanation is this. Scarf is a piece of cloth that regularly you use around your neck to cover from the cold. The meaning of a scarf is bufanda.
Bufanda.
Were you wearing a scarf?
No, I
wasn't.
I was.
Wasn't.
Wasn't.
Negative. Were you wearing gloves?
No, I wasn't.
What's the meaning of gloves?
Guantes.
Para eso son, luego están en el cajón ahí olvidados. Check this out. No por decir que por decir, pero mira. Los traigo. And I have found, y he encontrado, Jonathan, everyone listening outside, que these kind of sweatshirts during the winter to be very practical. Sudaderas muy prácticas. ¿Por qué motivo? Por esto. The bags. Aquí las bolsitas. O sea, me he enamorado de las sudaderas con bolsitas este invierno, bueno, inicio de invierno, because they're very practical. Son muy prácticas. O sea, si quieres traer tus guantes, los pones desde la mañana en la bolsita. De repente ya cuando hace mucho frío y están los Reyes Magos y todo, ya dices, I have my gloves. You have to, para que te compongas, tienes que mostrar la foto de Wiseman en nuestro grupo de WhatsApp.
Yes, teacher.
If you want, si gustas. So now, Jonathan, I don't have to make you read that much. No te tengo que hacer leer mucho y hoy teníamos una actividad de lectura, pero yo lo puedo compartir. Jonathan, what do you know about Wiseman Day? Ayer me regañaron tus compañeros porque yo dije, Día de Reyes. Me dijeron, no, es hasta mañana. Entonces lo llamamos Wiseman Day Eve. Porque recuerda que Eve significa
víspera.
Víspera. What do you know about it? Todo lo que sepas sobre la festividad.
In the Wise Men's Days, in the Wise Men's Day in Mexico is an important tradition, and especially for kids.
For kids or people in general?
Yes, because they receive gifts, for example, bicycles,
Bicycles,
sorry,
bikes, no problem.
bicycles, balloons.
Balloons to inflate.
Esos son los balones.
Balls to play.
Toys,
Electronics,
clothes,
clothing, pajamas,
clothing,
slippers,
candies,
candies, gadgets. Do you understand if I tell you gadgets?
gadgets.
Yes, gadgets is to put in general, like portable video games or devices, electronic devices. You only say gadgets. For example, a cell phone is a gadget. A tablet is a gadget. Some buds, wireless buds, they are gadgets.
Okay, gadgets.
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 Gadgets. It has a T extra. Gadget. In singular. And remember that you can have the S to make it plural, because in a dictionary you don't find plurals, you find singulars. Gadget. Plural. Gadget. Can you see the chat in Zoom?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, and what's the origin of the celebration?
The origin of celebration is in Jerusalem.
Yes, Bethlehem.
Specifically,
Specifically?
Jesus born.
Was born.
Was born.
No olvides el was.
Jesus was born.
In Bethlehem.
In Bethlehem.
Bethlehem. And what happened?
Mary, Jose, and Jesus was received.
They were received.
Various presents of the kings.
Which kings?
Kings. Reyes.
But which kings? Reyes.
The names?
Repeat, please.
The names of wise men?
Yes, but which kings, which wise men? Jesus, baby Jesus.
Yes.
Repeat after me.
Baby Jesus.
And his parents.
And his parents.
Received the visit.
Received the visit.
Of three
kings.
That they were coming.
They
were coming.
They are coming.
No, they are not. They're coming today. They were coming.
They were coming.
Ellos venían.
Follow the.
From the west. Following a star.
Following the stars.
Sí, porque dice siguiendo una estrella.
Yes.
Siguiendo. Following.
Following the stars.
Okay, thank you. So they came to visit the religious king, Jesus.
Yes.
When did they come? How long did they take them to come after Jesus was born? ¿Qué significa? ¿Cuánto les tardó
¿Cuál?
llegar después de que Jesús había nacido?
The religion said that Jesus was born in 25 of
In
the
the night between 24 and 25. And today is the 6th, so this is to say that it took the wise men 12 days
12 days.
to get to the manger, because Jesus was born in manger. The meaning of manger is pesebre.
Menger.
Manger. Esa palabra no se me pega.
Suena como mango. Menger.
Manger, pero tiene una N de más.
Menger.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. It was the beginning, but right now the tradition is that in between the night of 5 and 6, kids, people in general, teenagers receive, it's a tradition for some families, receive gifts in the name of the Magic Kings.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, now I'm going to share with you my screen. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, and it says 7 things you probably didn't know about Three Kings Day.
Okay. 7 things you probably didn't know about Three Kings Day. For those of you that have always wondered what that annoyingly repetitive song was going on about, you now have your answer. Traditionally, falling on January 6th, 12 days after December 25, it's the last day of Christmas festives and the perfect opportunity for you true love to send you 12 drummers drumming.
And let me help you. As stated above, the feast celebrates the arrival of 3 wise men at the manger in Bethlehem, but they didn't get there right on time, as they needed a couple of weeks to travel by camel. When they did, voy aquí, though, esta no se lee through, se lee though. They confirmed that the child was indeed Christian and then gave him some baby shower presents, gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
Latin traditions around the globe celebrate the Epiphany, which translates to the king's ring, a cake baked to a circle shape.
Circular shape.
Circular shape. We think the cake is a tiny figurine of the Christ child, and whoever finds the piece with the figurine
inside,
it gets something of a mixed blessing.
On one hand, the baby is meant to symbolize luck and prosperity for the coming year, and you'll be considered as an honored guest at dinner. On the downside, you are also responsible for not only buying next year's cake, but making tamales for the Day of the Candles on February 2.
Not surprisingly, the large and most populous Spanish-speaking city in the world celebrates Three Kings Day with the large Rosca de Reyes.
With the largest Rosca de Reyes. Using over 5 tons of flour, 3 tons of butter, and almost 40,000 eggs, the ring was over a mile long, allowing some 200,000 participants to try to their hand and discovering the baby Jesus figurine. Hopefully, they didn't have to make tamales for all the attendants.
As a way to get you to throw your dank Christmas tree out. Many cultures burn their Christmas trees in a large bonfire
Bonfire,
to celebrate the
great.
festival, which is probably the best smelling bonfire of all time.
Loaded,
With full
boiled, wrapped cookies,
wrap cookies and chocolates. In some cases, children are
allowed,
allowed to remove the gifts from the tree once it falls.
once it falls, una vez que ha caído. Next, similar to a stocking at Christmas, many children leave out their shoes the night before. Three Kings Day. The shoes are filled with with hay, esta se dice hay, to feed the three wise men's camels, and in exchange, the three wise men leave candies and toys in the shoes of good children. Bad children, however, get nothing but coal and a camel's spit.
Many small village
Villages,
sorry,
villages,
many small villages encourage
children
to parade
wait,
from house to house, just like Mary and Joseph. Two fans of the cool January weather houses will serve the children delicious hot beverages, like Mexican hot chocolate with a cinnamon and cayenne pepper tits, and a thick cinnamon vanilla vanilla drink made with corn masa. Adults, on the other hand, like to keep warm with an apple tamarind spin of the hot toddy.
which we know as punch.
Okay.
Thank you. My turn. Another Latin tradition throughout the holiday season is making and devouring tamales. These corn-based meat pies are calorie-rich and perfect for fending off cold winter climates, but their shapes gives another hint to their meaning. Wrapped in corn husk, the delicious threads are like edible presents that families can share with each other. Como que nos mencionan que los tamales son como un regalito, después de todo, porque ya es que los desenvuelves. Okay, what is the name of the reading?
7 things you probably didn't know about Three Kings Day.
I am going to stop sharing for 1 minute. I'm going to be sending you over the chat. A ver cuánto nos permite poner. Okay. What? Document. Lo voy a mandar, creo, en 2 partes.
Okay, teacher.
Thank you. Again. Porque ya ves que no me permite. De esta parte que mande por el chat. From this part that I send in the chat. No, es menos. Me pide menos. Así. Podemos poner el mismo título y nada más vamos a hacer un compendio del vocabulario. Ese
Okay.
me permitió. Va ahorita desde For those of you that have always wondered hasta Get something of a mixed blessing. And they're just vocabulary words. Do you agree?
Yes, teacher.
Thank you. Max. Document. The holiday. Remember that if you happen to read what you are writing, it's going to help me to know how to advance. Or you can question to me. It's Friday. You can question to me the vocabulary.
Yes.
I'm going to help you so we can work faster. Okay. What?
What is the meaning?
Yes.
Of wondered.
The meaning of wonder is vagaban.
Vagaban.
Vagaban, o sea que se refiere a que iban hacia allá. Hey, what is the line, Johnny? Can you read for me?
In the chat is the second line. That have always wondered what the annoyingly.
Yes. That is the second line. It says, for those of you who have always wondered, excuse me, my bad, wondered, preguntado. Es que hay una palabra similar que es wondered y pensé en los Reyes Magos, pero empieza diciendo, for those of you that have always wondered. Entonces, para todos ustedes quienes se han preguntado, wondered, preguntado.
What is the meaning of annoyingly?
Annoyingly, it's the meaning of con molestia, molestando. Por ejemplo, si yo digo, the cat is crying annoyingly, es que está llorando de forma molesta.
What is the meaning of drummers?
Drummers, it's the meaning of tamborilleros.
Tamborilleros?
Yes, o bateristas. Drummers.
And what is the meaning of drumming?
Drumming es la actividad que hacen los tamborilleros. O sea, tamborillar.
Ok.
O
la batería.
La batería. Yo digo, Rodo is drumming. Rodo is a drummer and he's drumming. Ahí hacen una relación con los tamborilleros del amor, ¿eh?
Ok. Bethlehem is Jerusalén.
Yes, Bethlehem. De hecho, no, es Belén. Existe Jerusalem, pero fue en específico en una localidad que es Bethlehem.
Ok.
O sea, Belén.
What is the meaning of frankincense?
Frankincense is the meaning of incienso. Frankincense. Escuchas también como incense, también es.
Okay. And mirror is mirra?
The meaning of mirror is mirror. Mirror.
Okay. Around the globe celebrated. ¿Qué sería todo de ahí, teacher?
Thank you. It would be everything from there. Y yo le pongo aquí. No está completa, pero vamos a revisar en tu material de Classroom. Johnny, can we go to your Classroom material?
Yes, teacher.
You know about this thing that you cannot like trust the computers and everything. Es que se había pegado, pero sin los títulos, o sea, más bien se publicó sin los títulos. Déjame saber si ya puedes ver el material de la clase de las 8 que dice 7 things you probably didn't know.
Yes.
About Three Kings Day. El Día de los Tres Reyes, ¿sale? Three Kings Day. Y ahora sí ya tienen, number 1, the holiday gets celebrated on January 6, aka the 12th day of Christmas.
Yes.
Luego dice, number 2, baby Jesus is baked into a cake. Number 3, in 2013, bakers in Mexico City made a mile-long Rosca de Reyes cake. Number 4, some cultures burn their Christmas trees. Number 5, kids leave their shoes out for presents. Number 6, children roam the streets rewarded with hot bebidas. Number 7, unwrapping the gift of tamales. Como eso era lo que no había aparecido, nos vamos un poquito a enfocar en eso. Si no tienes inconveniente, Jonathan.
No, teacher.
What is the meaning of the holiday gets celebrated on January 6th, aka the 12th day of Christmas?
La celebración de enero 6.
Más bien la celebración sucede, el gets celebrated.
Sucede
Yes.
en enero 6.
Y tal vez has escuchado qué significa AKA.
¿AKT?
AKA. Ahí están enseguida esta palabra. Bueno, son iniciales, pero ¿has escuchado AKA?
No.
Significa also known as. Entonces, Jonathan Jara, AKA Johnny.
También conocido.
No, ¿cómo?
También.
Félix Rodríguez, AKA The Teacher.
Okay, también conocido como el. Es un ordinal number.
12avo.
12avo.
Es lo que decíamos al principio en la conversación, que es el 12avo día después de Navidad.
Día de Navidad.
Number 2. Solo los
Two.
encabezados. Si quieres primero en inglés.
Okay, teacher. Baby Jesus is baked into a cake.
Thank you.
¿El niño Jesús o el bebé Jesús?
Pues el niño Jesús, bebé Jesús, como lo quieras llamar.
Jesús
Is baked.
es cocinado dentro de un pastel.
Yes. O sea, que lo hornean.
Number 3.
Do you understand that part?
Yes, is a rosca.
O sea, de qué es cocinado se refiere a que, pues, ¿no ves que lo hornean adentro de la rosca de Reyes? Hay bebés. Thank you. Next.
Next, in 2013, bakers in Mexico City made a mile-long rosca de Reyes cake. En 2013, los panaderos.
O sea, panaderos. Es que si decimos los panaderos, yo te diría rápidamente cuáles.
De la Ciudad de México.
Ok.
Hicieron una rosca de Reyes de 1 milla.
Yes.
Number 4, some cultures burn their Christmas trees. Algunas culturas queman sus árboles de Navidad.
Yes.
Number 5, kids leave their shoes out for presents.
Yes, which means?
Los niños dejan sus zapatos afuera para los regalos.
Sí, o sea, no están guardados, sino que los dejan a la vista, no afuera de casa, sino a la vista. And that's totally right. Y sí vamos bien, ¿cierto?
Yes.
O sea, son completamente correctas.
Number 6, children roam the streets rewarded with hot bebidas.
Yes. que los niños vagan por las calles y son recompensados con bebidas calientes.
Ok.
Pues supongo esa yo como que no tanto la
No.
hacen referencia como al ponche, ¿cierto? Pues que son temporadas frías y que regularmente se prepara ponche.
Yes.
Bueno, mencionan también el hot cocoa, o sea, el chocolate caliente. Ah, porque pues acompañas a la rosca con...
Yes, con chocolate.
Yes.
At
Next.
number 7, unwrapping the gift of tamales.
Yes. ¿Qué significa?
Desenvolviendo el regalo de tamales.
Yes, it's a food, it's a traditional for the people that it's watching from overseas. The tamal, it's a piece of mass with some ingredient inside or not, that they can just be salty. But the way of the preparation is through the most popular in Mexico is the corn, the corn skin, the corn cob, and it's some sort of a wrapping. It's like a gift. There are some people that actually put some sort of a ribbon. And what you do when you eat tamales, that it's very related to Weissman Day, to Candelaria's Day and stuff, you open the food. It's like opening a present.
It's not literally a gift.
It's a gift. For example, the grandmother of Alaita went to United States, and when she returned, what the family in United States sent here, they were tamales. I would have never imagined that I was going to try American tamales, tamales made in USA, eating here in Mexico City, but shit happens, you know?
Yes.
Okay, how do you like the tamales, Jonathan Jara?
I only like green.
The green ones.
The green and the
sweet.
Yes.
And the sweet tamales. And do you know how to prepare them?
Yes, I did.
Yes, have you made tamales?
Yes, with my mom.
Yes, yes, I have.
Yes, I have.
Because my question is, have you ever made tamales? And you say, yes, I have.
Yes, I have.
Thank you. Recuerda que hicimos al principio la carta de Reyes, pero ya nada, materialízala para que sí te traigan algo, Jonathan.
Okay, teacher.
I can confirm that Jonathan has been academic. Yo puedo confirmar que ha sido académico, Jonathan, y que sí se merece algo.
Yay.
Not coal. No nada más carbón, ¿eh? Porque dicen que si no les traen nada más carbón. A mí nunca me han traído carbón. Y si me van a traer carbón, Reyes Magos, traigan una bolsa y hacemos una carnita asada. Igual y te están mandando un mensaje, necesitas un barbecue.
Yes.
¿Sabe? Ok. Johnny, get better soon. Mejórate pronto.
Thank you, teacher.
Las productos como miel con eucalipto, si eres tolerante al té de jengibre, cebollas moradas y todo esto es parte de la cultura en México.
Yes, teacher, thank you.
Take care yourself significa cuídate a ti mismo.
Thank you, teacher.
Y mucho ojo.
Yes.
Thank you. I'll see you on Monday.
See you until Monday.
Enjoy the weekend. Peace.
Thank you, teacher. Happy Wise Men Days.
The Happy Wiseman Day and greetings to Brian.
Thank you.
Even if I have no the pleasure, and to your mom.
Yes, thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye, teacher.
It's a little baby. Y a cobrar, ¿no? Decía el George. El George. Ah. Jorge Barriga. Ah, no, ahora eres psicólogo, Jorge. Ya trátame, ¿no? ¿O qué? Sí hay galletas. En un momento pensé así como de... Case. Estos los encontré únicamente en casi para tirarse, porque a ella no le gustaron los pretzels. ¿Estará por aquí? ¿Qué pierdes? Hoy sí pierdes.
Hello, teacher.
Good morning, Omar. How are you today?
Fine. And thank you. And you?
I'm doing good. Today's the Wise Man Day.
Yes.
It's the Three Kings Day.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yes, thank you. Tell me everything about your vacation.
¿Cómo se dice salí de vacaciones?
I went on vacation.
I went to vacation to Oaxaca.
How beautiful Oaxaca is.
¿Mande?
How beautiful Oaxaca is.
Yes.
Is Oaxaca beautiful?
Yes, it's beautiful. The beach, Puerto Escondido.
Thank you. Do you have family in Oaxaca?
No.
No, I don't.
No,
Is
I
the
don't.
first time that you travel to Oaxaca?
¿Mande?
Is the first time you travel to Oaxaca?
Yes. Yes.
And who did you travel with?
Es que ya se me olvidó.
Who did you travel with is the question. ¿Con quién viajaste?
With my family.
With your family specifically?
My mom, my grandmother, and my sister.
Thank you. And do you remember specifically where did you go?
Yes, Puerto Escondido.
We went. Repeat after me, Omar.
We went
to Puerto Escondido.
We went to Puerto Escondido.
Con el we estás incluyendo pues tus miembros de familia que fueron. Went, de que fuimos.
Ok.
No es la única forma de decirlo, puedes decir we had vacation at Puerto Escondido.
Ok.
Y también ya ves que los en inglés como que se es muy descriptivo. Ellos también dicen, por ejemplo, I went 5 days to Puerto Escondido.
Ok.
¿Sale? Right. It's nice to see you back and safe.
Thank you.
Now tell me, what do you remember from your very far class, the previous one? ¿Qué te acuerdas de tu clase? La más reciente, hace mucho.
Recuerdo.
Two sisters and the cat, Dexter.
How do you say in English texto?
What?
How do you say in English texto?
Text?
How do you say in English lectura?
No, I don't remember.
The word for lectura is. Tú me lo vas a decir.
Reading.
Reading. The word is reading. Do you want to remember what is the story of two sisters and the cat? Briefly.
Yes, it's two sisters. And the death of cat.
And the death of a cat. Omar, do you have a cat as a pet?
No.
No, I don't.
No, I don't.
Why not?
Because I don't like two cats.
I don't like cats too much. Thank you. Have you ever had a cat?
No.
Did you ever in the past?
No.
Were you the babysitter of a cat anytime? Translation?
I don't remember.
But what is the meaning of the question? Have you ever babysitted a cat?
No.
¿Significa alguna vez fuiste niñero de un gatito?
No.
Que tu vecino te ha dicho, oye, cuídame a mi gato por 32 horas.
No.
Okay.
Nunca.
Never.
Never.
Never. Tell me, please, Omar, more about the story Two Sisters and the Cat. Dime más de los dos hermanos y el gato.
One sister, she's alive in condominium.
Okay.
In Victoria, and other sister lives in Duncan.
Duncan. That is very specific, which means eso fue muy específico, pero a ver, a grandes rasgos. Two sisters. What happened with the cat?
Died cat, and I have no place to bury.
Yes.
Him.
Do you remember the name of the cat?
Sammy?
Sammy, thank you. So poor Sammy, he died. And the problem is the place to bury the dead cat Sammy. And then what happens?
Es que no recuerdo cómo se diga, lo enterraron en la casa de la otra hermana.
Pues propone, ¿no? La otra hermana.
Ajá, lo propone, que lo enterraron ahí.
Proposes a place to bury Sammy. La otra hermana propone un lugar para enterrar a Sammy. Thank you. And then.
¿Vale?
¿Y luego qué pasa?
Que lo olvida, ¿no? En una mochila, en un bus.
En una mochila, en una bolsa, algo así, ¿cierto?
Ajá.
Okay. So where is poor Sammy now? Entonces, ¿en dónde está ahorita el pobre Sammy? ¿Dónde está?
In the bus.
In the bus. O sea, la hermana propone, no tienes lugar donde enterrar, you don't have place
No.
to bury. Y dice, yo me lo llevo a mi casa.
Sí.
Pero se lo olvida en el bus.
Sí.
Right? Ok. Bueno, ahorita recordamos un poquito más de la historia. Se llama Two Sisters and the Cat, que fue presentada por lectura, reading. Vamos
Yes.
ahora a hacer un poquito de listening el día de hoy porque es viernes y mucha atención a lo que vamos a escuchar. Omar me dice si suena bien.
That there is a correlation between our level of the language and the hours we have been listening. In other words, the more you listen, the better.
The more hours you spend listening, the more quickly you improve.
How do you listen to the audio, Omar?
The more wisdom in the proof or algo así.
Thank you. ¿Cómo escuchas el audio?
Bien.
¿Bien? Ok, entonces continuamos. Mucha atención, no dura mucho.
And the hours we have been listening. In other words, the more you listen, the better. The more hours you spend listening, the more quickly you improve. Here's an interesting question you might ask. How many times do I have to listen to every piece of content? Do I have to listen just one time or more than one time? What most students do is listen to certain content once or twice and then change to another content. The typical student thinks that the more variety, the better. Well, variety is good, but what you want is to consolidate what you listen. And the most effective way to achieve it is through repetition. So let's say you're starting with English. You're a beginner. This is the situation where you need a lot of repetition. The reason is that you need to create the most common patterns in your head. That's why you need to repeat many times. For example, let's say you have a 5 minutes audio adapted to your level. Then you can repeat the audio 20, 30, or even more times. Yes, you heard me well. 20, 30, or more times. I'm not saying that you have to do it in one day, of course. For example, you can repeat the audio 3 times every day during 1 week. This is only 15 minutes a day during 7 days, which is 21 times. You can read and listen if you need to. Yes, it seems crazy, but I can assure you that this is very effective. You can learn a lot. And the most important thing is that you're consolidating the phrases, the vocabulary, the pronunciation, and it becomes easier to use all of this in your conversation. If you do this as part of your routine, and you dedicate 1 hour a day doing repetitions of different audios, soon you'll notice a big difference. You'll become familiar with many structures, and you will start to understand what you say without translation in your head. Repetition is the key to consolidation. If you have an intermediate level or higher, you don't need to repeat so many times. What you can do is always listen to the same person. Focus on just one material and then stick to it for a while. You might prefer some particular phrases, vocabulary, expressions, etc. So if you listen to the same person, you'll repeat more. Another approach is to listen about the same topic consistently. Although you're not repeating the same audio, you are repeating the vocabulary and expressions of the same topic. This rule of repetition is not strict, of course. The important thing is to listen for many hours, and if you can repeat, much better. Okay, let's move on to the next section.
Okay, now, Omar, what we're going to do, I'm going to play again the same. It's not very long, but we're going to go shadowing. Si tú podías distinguir un poquito, yo iba repitiendo como que palabras. Entonces vamos a hacer lo mismo. Muchas veces en clase me dicen, es que no entiendo. Solo enfóquense en pocas palabras, si puedes estructuras también, pero solo en palabras. Voy a hacer un ejemplo.
Studies which suggest that there is a correlation between our level of the language and the hours we have been listening.
Listening.
In other words,
Do I explain myself?
Yes, okay.
¿Me explico?
Yes.
Necesito que de alguna forma tengas el micrófono prendido porque quiero escuchar la grabación, pero también a ti.
Okay.
¿Vale? ¿Tú me escuchabas a mí?
No.
Voy a hacer un cachito más. Bueno, estoy en cámara también y lo digo.
the more you listen,
More.
the better.
Better.
The more hours you spend
Hours.
listening,
Listening.
the more quickly you improve.
Quickly.
Here's an interesting question.
Interesting
Exacto,
question.
está la grabación. Exacto, así. ¿Listo?
Okay. Okay.
On your marks, get set, go.
You might ask, how many times do
How
I
many
have to
times
listen to every
listening
piece of content?
Content.
Do I have to listen just
You
one
have to
time
listen
or more than
or
one time?
more.
What most students
What
do
students
is listen to certain content once or
content
twice
once,
and
twice,
then change to another
then
content. The
content
typical student thinks that the more variety, the
more
better.
better.
Well, variety is good, but what you want is to consolidate what you listen. And the most effective way to achieve it is through repetition.
Repetition.
So let's say you're starting with English. You're a
English.
beginner. This is the situation where you need a lot of repetition. The reason is that you need to create the most common patterns in your head. That's why you need to repeat many times. For example, let's say you have a 5 minutes audio adapted to your level. Then you can repeat the audio 20, 30, or even more times. Yes, you heard me well. 20, 30, or more times. I'm not saying that you have to do it in one day, of course. For example, you can repeat the audio 3 times every day during 1 week. This is only 15 minutes a day during 7 days, which is 21 times. You can read and listen if you need to. Yes, it seems crazy, but I can assure you that this is very effective. You can learn a lot. And the most important thing is that you're consolidating the phrases, the vocabulary, the pronunciation, and it becomes easier to use all of this in your conversation. If you do this as part of your routine, and you dedicate 1 hour a day doing repetitions of different audios, soon you'll notice a big difference. You'll become familiar with many structures, and you will start to understand what you say without translation in your head. Repetition is the key to consolidation. If you have an intermediate level or higher, you don't need to repeat so many times. What you can do is always listen to the same person. Focus on just one material and then stick to it for a while. You might prefer some particular phrases, vocabulary, expressions, etc. So if you listen to the same person, you'll repeat more. Another approach is to listen about the same topic consistently. Although you're not repeating the same audio, you are repeating the vocabulary and expressions of the same topic. This rule of repetition is not strict, of course. The important thing is to listen for many hours, and if you can repeat, much better. Okay, let's move on to the next section. Here I'll use the question and answer technique. This is the perfect lesson for...
Very good. Good job, Omar.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Yes.
Now, please tell me what is the audio about.
hablaba de como del tiempo que puedes leer, bueno, hablar, es que no sé cómo,
I don't
sí,
know how to
pronunciar
explain.
palabras en inglés, que tengas una hora y que si puedes un poco más o algo así, ¿no?
Yeah, but it was talking about the reading, the writing.
Reading, uh, reading, ah, bueno, sí leer, ¿no?
How do you know that it was talking about reading? ¿Cómo sabes que hablaba de leer?
Por
¿Qué palabra repetía?
por lo que mencionaba de, bueno, por lo que le alcanzaba a entender.
But what word? ¿Pero qué palabra decía? ¿Decía reading?
No, decía, ah, es que no recuerdo si era listening o algo así.
Listening. Ok.
Ajá,
Si
creo
tú
que
le
sí era
tuvieras
eso.
que dar si tú le tuvieras que dar un título a esta lectura, digo, a este audio, ¿cuál sería?
Ah, estudia inglés, una hora.
Estudia inglés una hora, así como de hazlo ya. Ok. El título verdadero del audio,
The importance of repeated listening.
otra vez.
Es que se me fue. The importance of repeated listening.
The importance of repetitive.
Repetitive listening.
Entonces no se estaban enfocando en reading,
No, era en listening.
se estaban enfocando en listening.
Ok.
¿Y qué significa eso de the importance of repetitive listening?
La importancia de repetir. La importancia de repetir lo que escuchas. O
Ok,
es que
¿cómo traducirías listening?
escuchar.
Como la escucha. Entonces, la importancia de hacer el ejercicio de escucha, de escuchar, listening, repetitive,
Ok. Repetitivo.
repetitivo.
La importancia de escuchar repetitivamente. Es que no sé cómo podría.
Escuchar audios de forma repetitiva.
Ah, repetitiva. Ok.
Y
Ya de
decimos,
las de
that
escuchar
is
repetitiva. No, de la escucha repetitiva.
sí, o sea, la importancia de escuchar
What?
audios de forma repetitiva, no solo una vez.
Ok.
Sucede que cuando estamos
Yes.
aprendiendo idiomas decimos, tengo un audio de 3 minutos, ya lo escuché una vez, el siguiente.
Ok. Sí, sí, sí.
Es como correcto. Y aquí nos están
Yes.
comentando que lo importante no es escucharlo una vez en
Sino
todo,
repetirlo.
sino repetirlo.
Ok.
Why do you think is this? ¿Por qué crees que es esto?
Aprendes mejor. Bueno, lo recuerdas bien, lo recuerdas mejor.
¿Lo recuerdas bien? ¿Lo recuerdas mejor? Ok. ¿Qué más? ¿Cuál sería el beneficio de escuchar algo repetidamente? As for example, a song on the radio.
No lo olvidas.
¿O es más fácil que lo recuerdes? The way that you're talking. Not in the way.
Ok.
Ahora, de acuerdo al audio, ¿cuántas veces nos piden repetir un audio? ¿Cuántas veces lo podemos escuchar?
30.
Excuse me?
30?
30, what is the meaning of 30?
30. 30?
30. Bueno, ella dice, you can listen to the audio 20, 30, or even more times.
Yes.
Y tú
30.
dices, ¿qué? ¿Escuchar algo 20 veces?
Sí. Bueno, no sé si sea mucho o poco. Creo que sí, un poquito, es mucho.
¿Cómo? Me diste dos respuestas. Me dijiste que era poquito y que era mucho. ¿Con cuál me
O sea,
quedo?
que sí era, o sea, sí era bastante.
No one. None of my students. No, no es cierto. O sea, digo que no, es muy difícil, es súper difícil que alguien escuche un audio más de 2 veces. But
Yes.
she also has a recommendation.
Ok.
Let's think, for example, what you listen. Este audio que tú escuchaste ahorita, que escuchamos ahorita, ¿cuánto
Ok.
tiempo crees que haya sido?
¿Cuánto tiempo?
¿Cuánto tiempo fue?
No más de 5 minutos.
No más de 5 minutos. ¿Qué es?
No more to 5 minutes.
Thank you. They are 4:40. Son 4:40. Lo vamos a cerrar a 4.
Ok.
Because I'm not the mathematics teacher. Entonces, let's say that you have this audio that it lasts 4 minutes and you need to listen to it many times. Let's say that you listen to it 3 times in a day for 7
Ok.
days.
Ok.
This is to say, you help me with the mathematics because when Mr. Jaime is not here, I suck. Now I'm trying to give my best this 2023. 4 times 3.
What? No entendí bien.
4 times 3.
Ok.
What is the meaning? 4 times 3. Hello, hello. Is there anybody out there? I think that we lost Omar when we started with mathematics, basic mathematics, basic operations.
Hello?
Hello, hello.
Hello?
What's the
Hello?
meaning for 4 times 3? Déjenme le digo, yo sí te oigo porque creo que es lo que no, que sucede que no me oye. Yo sí te escucho. Tommy, aquí estoy.
Teacher.
Responde por aquí, por favor. I'm trying to communicate to Omar. I think that he cannot listen to me. Hasta voy a desertar de hacer matemáticas. Sí lo escucho bien. Entonces,
Hello?
ahí. Pero es que se va.
Es que, bueno,
Aquí,
la red está un poco lejos de mi compu. A lo
aquí
mejor es por eso.
está. Digo, nada más sin. Curiosamente, cuando empezamos con matemáticas se fue toda la onda. Entonces era 4 times 3 equals
12.
12. Estos son los minutes.
Ok.
O sea, 12 minutos al día, de 24 horas, 12 minutos te están viendo es nada. Okay, now we say, 3 times 7. This is the times that you repeat, and this is the 7 days of the week.
Okay. 21.
21. So in 1 week you achieved.
Okay.
Ta-da!
Okay.
So it's not impossible.
No.
What are you looking for? You are looking for a consolidation that you adapt to your. For example, have I told you about my Saturday students from secondary? Have I told you? ¿Te he dicho de mis alumnos de secundaria de los sábados?
Creo que no.
Bien. Bueno, pues hoy. It's very particular because I have 2 students, they are 3, and are from first grade of secondary.
Okay.
And secondary I have always considered is a breakthrough, but it's like a piece of cake, but you complicate as you want. Bottom line, these 2 kids, that they must be 3, they have a mission. They want to change every word that I say.
Okay.
Yo digo please, ellos dicen please. Bueno, han llegado hasta cambiar su nombre. Arturo y Brian.
Sí, ya.
Y lo digo con todo respeto, pero porque me gusta analizar que los 2 se comportan igual. Ellos quieren hacer un idioma nuevo. Si estamos en la presentación y digo, my name is Felix, ellos dicen Name.
Okay.
Right? Creo que sí los oíste.
Yes. Ya los recuerdo.
Bueno, total, sí los subsanamos, sí los curamos, pero conmigo van a decir muchas palabras incorrectas. Sé que en su clase van a mejorar, porque lo van a hacer, van a ser más conversacionales, van a ser más rápido las actividades, según yo. I might be wrong. Pero quieren cambiarlo completamente.
Yes.
¿Qué me dice? 1, pues la etapa en la que están. 2, que no les pusieron de niños inglés.
Okay.
Porque recuerden que todo está relacionado. Nuestra especialista algún día estará invitada o el algoritmo nos hablará bien, pero es la edad temprana. 0 to 6 years old. 0 a 6. O sea, el mensaje es, ¿tienes un ser humano en edad temprana? Ponle inglés. O alemán. Hay quienes. English haters. Entonces, bueno, ponle alemán, francés, italiano. O lectura en español de un libro, pero ingeste, que consuma.
Okay.
Right. Pay attention to what the audio says.
There is a correlation between
Para ver si lo que dijimos es real o me lo inventé.
Okay.
our level of the language and the hours we have been listening. In other words, the more you listen, the better. The more hours you spend listening, the more quickly you improve. Here's an interesting question you might ask. How many times do I have to listen to every piece of content?
How many times?
Do I have to listen just one time or more than one time? What most students do is listen to certain content once or twice, and then change to another content.
Move on.
The typical student thinks that the more variety, the better. Well, variety is good, but what you want is to consolidate what you listen.
We are avoiding variety. When you begin with English. Estamos evitando variedad ahorita.
Okay.
¿Qué sucede cuando estás empezando en el inglés?
Que te ponen, no sé, muchas cosas. Bueno, es que no sé, no sé qué pasa cuando.
Que escuchas algo, escuchas un audio y ya quieres ir a otro.
Sí.
Esa es la variedad.
Ok.
Estamos comentando aquí es que no, te tienes que apegar a un audio.
And the most effective way to achieve it is through repetition.
Repetition.
So let's say you're starting with English. You're a beginner.
Beginner.
This is the situation where you need a lot of repetition. The reason is that you need to create the most common patterns in your head.
In your head.
That's why you need to repeat many times. For example, let's say you have a 5 minutes audio adapted to your level. Then you can repeat the audio 20, 30, or even more times.
Ok.
Hemos tenido sesiones en donde les decimos 20, 30 o más veces. Y me dicen, ¿qué?
Es mucho.
Yes, you heard me well.
Y hasta nos aclara, sí, me escuchaste bien.
Yes.
Y dice Omar, no, pues es mucho.
Sí, es algo.
¿Quieres que te recuerde cuántas horas juegas videojuegos? Bien.
No.
O que me han dicho. Hay quienes juegan 4, 7 horas, 2 horas. Aquí te están pidiendo 12 minutos de tu tiempo.
20, 30 or more times. I'm not saying that you have to do it in one day, of course. For example,
One day?
you
No.
can repeat the audio 3 times every
3 times.
day during 1 week.
1 week.
This is only 15 minutes a day
15 minutes.
during 7 days,
Okay.
which is 21 times.
21 times.
You can read and listen if you need to. Yes, it seems crazy.
Crazy.
But I can assure
Yes.
you that this is very effective. You can learn a lot.
Effective.
And the most important thing is that you're consolidating the phrases, the vocabulary, the pronunciation, and it becomes easier to use all of this in your conversation. If you do this as part of your routine, and you dedicate 1 hour a day doing repetitions of different audios, soon you'll notice a big difference. You'll become familiar with many structures, and you will start to understand what you say without translation in your head.
Okay.
Repetition
More
is the
automatic.
key to
Okay.
consolidation. If you have an intermediate level
Intermediate
or higher,
level, higher,
you don't need to
it's not
repeat so many
necessary
times. What you
Okay.
is always listen to the same person.
Teacher Felix.
Focus
Georgiana.
on just one material, and then stick to it for a
Stick
while.
to it for a while. Not
You
very
might
much.
prefer some particular
Okay.
phrases, vocabulary, expressions, etc.
For example, when it gets boring, porque lo que sucede es que se vuelve aburrido, ya sabes,
Sí.
Georgiana me va a decir, pues enfócate en las que sean nuevas para ti, las que no conocías.
So if you listen to the same person, you'll repeat more.
More.
Another approach is to listen about the same topic consistently. Although you're not repeating the
For example, si ya eres intermedio o más alto, ya no es necesario que escuches la repetición tantas veces. Lo que te dicen es, escucha sobre un tema. No sé, estoy
Okay.
construction, pues voy a escuchar audios de construcción. O estoy en business management, pues voy a escuchar audios que sean relacionados a
same audio,
Okay.
the vocabulary and expressions of the same
topic.
This rule of repetition is not strict, of course. The important thing is to listen for many hours, and if you can repeat, much better. Okay.
Y si puedes repetir, mucho mejor.
Okay.
For example, right now. Por ejemplo, ahorita ya te hice escuchar el audio 3 veces sin que te das cuenta.
Sí.
Y ese fue tu regalo de Reyes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Universe. No, gracias a ti por el compromiso, Omar. Es más, no lo programamos, pero si te puedes quedar en 2 horas, tengo set de actividades para ti.
Okay.
2, ¿no?
Yes.
Tú ahí me vas
2.
diciendo, si no, un mensajito. En privado. Teacher,
Ok,
tengo que alimentar a mis perros o no. Sí, me tomé mi chocomilk y tengo energía. Te aguanto 2 horas. Hay
ok.
quienes aguantan 5 seguidas los del sábado. Dice así. Ok, questions so far, Omar?
No.
Al menos una pregunta. Debes de tener al menos una.
Mm, ¿Dónde voy a escuchar el audio?
El de hoy, yo te
Sí.
lo mando, pero
Ok.
nos están hablando de los audios en general.
Sí.
Te dicen, por ejemplo, un audio de 3 minutos en donde te explican la nueva versión de tu juego favorito.
Ok.
Salió Free Fire, pero Legends of the Assumption.
Ok.
Entonces, aunque sea de tu interés y te guste y desde el principio entendiste las nuevas características, los nuevos personajes y todo, te debes de pegar ese audio.
Ok.
¿Cuántas veces?
30.
20.
20.
Or 10. Ya después de 10 está bien, pero te tienes que enfocar en las palabras nuevas. Casi todas las entiendes. The first character is shooting where the sniper is... ¿Sniper? ¿Dijo sniper? Pero es que sniper a los gamers sí se la saben.
Sí.
Y no es básico.
Sí, sí.
Okay, Omar. Did you write your letter for the webcam?
¿Mande?
Si dices mande, te mando las tortillas.
What?
Repeat, please. Tú me
You-
dices a mí. Repeat, please.
Repeat, please.
Of course. Did you write your letter, your Christmas letter to the wise men?
Yes.
Yes, I did. Thank you. In English or in Spanish?
In Spanish.
And did they come to your house?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Later on the date?
Yes.
Más al rato en el día. Pues, ¿qué pediste, man? Ya unos diamantes, Swarovski.
No. Shoes.
Shoes.
For soccer.
Soccer shoes.
Soccer shoes, yes.
Ok. Pues yo pedí algo similar, porque yo pedí tacos. Entonces,
Okay.
all right. And you have to do this letter in English live.
You have.
Tenemos que hacer la carta en inglés y en vivo.
Okay.
Abre tu cuaderno, le ponemos la fecha. Siempre ponemos fechas de aquí en el algoritmo, ¿verdad?
Yes.
Entonces dice Friday, coma.
Friday.
Janelli, December, teacher. ¿Qué crees que le dije? Le digo, Jan.
No.
Coma, January.
January. What?
Six.
Tits.
No podemos olvidar este día. ¿Qué no quieres tus tenis?
Yes. Es ¿cómo es? The King's Day. No.
Pero primero terminamos la fecha.
Okay.
Coma, 2022.
23.
I promise not to get a mistake about the year. Every year is the same. Thank you. 2023.
Yes.
2022 estuvo pesadito, lleno de mucho trabajo, muchos retos. Gracias que estamos vivos, pero híjole, 2022.
Yes.
Bueno, es una programación humana nada más que decimos, ay, cambió el 2023, es lo mismo. Nada nos programamos, pero bueno, que es un comienzo. No se enojen abuelitas en casa, pero sí es una programación anual que tenemos que hacer lo mismo todos los años. Dice así.
Yes.
Dear wise men.
Dear wise men.
Colon. 2 puntos. Sabemos que se ve bonita la coma, pero no es una coma. Ahí van 2 puntos, you like it or not.
Ok.
Yo ponía comas y ya. De un alto mando de la universidad que imparte maestría me dijo, no, a ver, chavo. Te sientas y te calles. Dijo, Dear Wiseman.
Yes.
Con mayúscula, Wiseman con mayúscula, porque se vuelven sustantivos propios.
Ok.
Space, o sea, abajo.
Yes.
This year.
This year.
And last year.
And last year.
I've been. ¿Sabes cómo vas a escribir eso, Omar?
No, Mincy.
I've been. Maybe I'm
been.
here. Check this out. Está en el chat.
Okay.
That's the reason why you have to be in the premium courses of the school. I've been because you have the chance to write here and next. I've been. Ahí va. ¿Cómo ha sido, Omar? Atento, descuidado, bailador, intenso, negativo, comprensible.
Yo diría intenso.
Intenso, intense. Llega Omar a ciertos lados y así, ¿qué onda? ¿Qué se va a hacer? Intense. And we agreed with Jonathan to have 5.
Okay.
Jonathan, y 5 dijimos con Jonathan que todo el día van a ser 5. Number 2.
Okay.
Academic, intelligent, patient, passive, hypocritical, transgender, what?
Comprensivo.
Comprensivo. ¿Con quién?
My family.
My family, my friends around. Trabajador.
Yes.
Tú mismo, ¿eh?
Okay.
Can you see the messages in the chat?
What?
Can you see what I'm typing in the chat?
Yes.
Yes, sure.
Okay, comprehensive.
Comprehensive.
Comprehensive. And hard working.
Unbelievable. Stubborn. Pathetic. Positive. Pushy.
Positive.
Really?
Yes.
Positive. Está en medio del incendio y Omar, desde los que dicen, se preocupen, ahorita reconstruimos la positive.
Yes.
Y van 4 ya. Intense, comprehensive, hardworking, positive.
Yes.
And the cherry of the cake.
Amigable.
Oh my. Feedback. O sea, feedback no es la respuesta, sino es la oportunidad. A que alguien nos ayude. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, algunos en casa ya me dijeron friendly.
Friendly, okay.
Friendly.
Friendly.
Si no lo pones como listado, entonces todos separados por coma, porque
Okay.
están las características. ¿Vieron cómo decimos 5 cosas positivas? Yo para una entrevista de trabajo digo 4 positivas y me piden 5, 4 positivas y una negativa. Dicen que los buenos reclutadores saben que no les estás mintiendo, no estás siendo perfeccionista. O sea, dices 4 positivas, regular para la siguiente. ¿Vale? Tip.
Okay.
Dice... that's the reason why, o sea, seguimos la carta.
That's the reason why.
That is the reason why. ¿Qué les quieres decir? I ask you, I request you, I demand you.
I demand you.
Así ya de tan les demando de, ok.
Pues
Es
no,
que ask es más
entonces,
suavecito, ¿no? Les pido.
sí,
I
les pido.
request you, les solicito, request you. I demand you, pues ya es como, les demando que me traigan.
Yes.
Yo ahí si soy el rey mago, mira, carnal,
No, nada.
pues, ¿no? Ya
Ok,
cuando estás con tu chica y así, que te engañó y así, si le dices, I demand you an explanation.
ok.
¿Sale? ¿Pero qué? ¿Cuál utilizamos?
I request you.
Request, ¿no? Le solicito amablemente. Es más, le
Yes.
vamos a poner I kindly, eso ya ves que te lo mando. Kindly request to you, o sea, ustedes, y no hay problema,
Ok,
to you también es.
ok,
En la descripción, como tú sabes en el inglés, sé muy específico. Los
ok.
verde, perico, 12 tacos flexibles, cápsula de aire, todo lo que quieras y mandes, pero al final la palabra trainers.
Ok,
¿Sí? En español decimos primero unos tenis verde perico que vuelan, que no, en inglés primero todo lo que tengas que decir, no sabemos qué es.
ok,
Parrot green, 12 tacos, air bubble, super soft, new trend, Air Force One, Nike trainers.
ok.
Y al final te guardas el trainers, pero si quieres poner 20 palabras antes de trainers, también para ayudarles, ¿no? ¿Cuáles quieres?
Yes.
Ahí los de.
Ah, no lo sé.
Bueno, ahí, o sea, inspírale ahí. Bueno, o sea,
Mm,
sí, tampoco es complejo. ¿De qué color? ¿Cuántos tacos? ¿Qué es la marca? Eh,
ah, the
Seven Soccer, Saloon Soccer.
color, color red.
Ponle, si quieres, sin el color, nada más, ¿qué tono de red?
Red.
No es lo mismo.
Blonde.
Rojo carbón o rojo fuego. ¿Cuál?
Blonde. Blonde sangre, no creo.
Ah, blood, red. Ahí el blood
Blood red.
está rojo sangre. Te digo que Omar bien intenso. Blood red, el código.
Blood red.
Blood red.
The 20 tacos. Ah,
Ok, 20 tacos.
20 tacos.
Le digo que todas las características y al final vamos a decir qué es.
Ok.
20 tacos. Reebok, Nike.
Nike. Nike.
Ok. Y nos están reportando por las redes sociales que, o sea, sí hay cambios en el año, porque estamos girando alrededor del sol. You're right, fuera. Es cierto.
Ok.
Y que los astros, las energías, nuestros pensamientos son muy bien. Ya me callo, me voy. Ahí a ver quién da la clase, ¿eh?
Ok.
No es cierto, no, espera. Hola, sí, también. Sí, me vi muy... Y a mí la verdad me va muy bien familiarmente. Y todo. Entonces, Sí, pero nada más hablábamos con un ser muy querido mío que, no, pues es una programación. Nos abrazamos y al final dijimos, ¿qué año nuevo? ¿Qué? Pues sí, nada más. No, pero es cierto. Sí cambia. Ya, me cayó.
Ok.
Entonces dijimos Blood Red, 20 tacos, eh, Air Bubble, burbuja de aire. ¿Tienen alguna otra característica?
Textura, tienen
Ok.
grip.
Texture.
Ok.
Soft texture, ¿será? ¿Textura suave?
No.
O nada más es un ejemplo, Omar, de que aunque no estuvieras pidiendo unos tenis, que estuvieras pidiendo un cuadro o una bocina,
Ok.
que primero digas todas las características. Y se me hace también algo un poquito cultural, porque a veces decimos unos tenis, bueno, no, de una cobija, pues di así de matrimonial, lana, borrega, Carly Ruiz, o sea que,
Ok, ok.
¿vale? Y al final ya que es una cobija.
Ok.
¿Vale? Es más, déjale así y al ratito si le quieres agregar, dejas un pequeño espacio.
Ok.
Y al final, trainers o soccer trainers.
Ok.
Tenemos diferentes nombres, podemos decir tennis shoes, puedes decir sneakers, pero como son de fútbol, pues yo el nombre más adecuado, ustedes,
Soccer shoes.
yo le pondría trainers, porque son de entrenar, bueno, para entrenar, para jugar.
Ok.
Esta es la palabra.
Trainers. Ok.
Si pones tennis shoes, no está mal.
Ok.
¿Right? Sí, un rato. Te preguntaba, no lo habíamos programado, pero ¿te quieres, puedes quedarte 2 horas o la siguiente semana reponemos tiempo?
Mm, la siguiente semana.
La siguiente semana.
Mejor.
Ok.
Sí.
Y nada más nos falta la parte final, Omar.
Ok.
Es lo más difícil. In exchange,
In exchange.
in exchange,
In exchange.
I promise
I promise. I promise
ahí
to.
sí, también se queda de tarea. Se me hace que
Ok.
unas 5 cosas, ¿no?
Ok.
Tender mi cama, alimentar a mis peces, lo que tú quieras y mandes, pero casi a nadie nos gusta comprometernos. A nosotros en Dynamics sí, porque ya nos mentalizamos nuevamente,
Ok. Ok.
nos defragmentamos. Entonces,
Sí.
pero date y que sean los puntos de ya subir la silla de mi abuelita o realmente hacer los trastes de la cena del jueves.
Ok. Ok. Ok, teacher.
Okay? Well, Omar, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Goodbye.
Hola, ¿quién es? Hello, Michelle. No. He's back. Michelle, get back. He's back. Because you're going to use the steps. We just wanted to do a big picture. And today, when you complain it, you have to do it with body part. Sí, bueno, porque ahora sí está bien, pero como son 17, body part. Los contrarios por body part. It's easy, I told you. And you always have to write it on the example, so get. Get. Definitely. Pero que aquí es una palabra específica. Eyes. No. Now. Hand. Nails. Fingers. You can do it. You can do it. Michelle Figueroa is doing Michelle Figueroa is doing an exercise about body parts in relation to our entrance because we have 17 steps, so they have to say 17 vocabulary words. Excuse me? How many? What is the meaning of hobby? The meaning of hobby is very good. Thank you, Michelle. The spelling T, U, O, N, Y, hobby. You. W-I-S-T. W-A-I-S-T. Wait. And now we're talking about the way is H-I-S. So we say, wait, free to go. Woo! You got one chocolate. Ajá, dicen mis pestañas, dicen mis cosas basales. Eyelashes. O sea, no es obligatorio, son los tres. No puedes subir, pero a propósito se dice no trades. Trades son los extractos, los trades son los extractos. You can do it. 2 to go, Michelle. Nudillos, palma de la mano. Palm. Puedes decir que es hand, palm. And the cherry of the cake. Y las ganas, digo, las próximas. What? If you understand, let me get my time. 5, 4, 3. Children. I mean everything happens in this sound. This is time. goes back to back. All right there. Really? Keep low, careful, knuckles, fine. Yes, fingers, PG, really, bingo, point, tummy, discover. Bueno, pero conseguimos 17. What to do? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. And today is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. What are the characteristics of Tuesday? Day of the king. How many is the king? 3. What that mean? Casper or not? And what about their culture? Their culture. Remember that in the last story happened, they had to discover America. So supposedly one is European, one is African, and the other is Asiatic. One thing is that she's the monster. Okay, Michelle, and what is the beginning of the story? It's a religious story. It has to do with Jesus when they was born. Jesus, the baby. Why? And the importance that they visited baby Jesus is because of religion. He was a new king. He was a new Catholic. Okay. And then they were free. Right? What about their Uber? What about their transportation? Vamos a escribir. Gas, estoy, they pretend, they pretend that that they give, were given by them. For the bakers, you have bakers. What is the meaning of baker? The meaning of baker is and for the bakers, ¿cómo se dice eso? Y de seco, la chavín. Right. They prepare, they bake the bread, otherwise the bread is like, what is it? Malik Figueroa, what is the meaning of baker? Baker is what's the meaning of bakery? What's the meaning of bake? As a verb. Five, four, three, one, shoulders, yes, waist, 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 hips over, thank you, leg, thank you, leg, knees, knees, foot, going up the ankle. And that is the president. Foot, yes, knees. Como no están los demás, for the gender. What is the meaning of bake? When you put the wrong into the heat for the bread response, bake. And the bakers, they prepare the bread for them, they have to bake it. Bake is the verb. Try to repeat it because it's not very bake. And everything is that with bake, baker. Bake. And for the center, what you consider. The meaning of the verb is the notice. For example, the center. What do this mean? How do you say in stadiums? They products, as for example, perfumes, tablets, and markets. marker, you can have one set of markers. Thank you. And for Michelle, if you run. You're not alone. You got to say your mom to over and say, like, Mom, I am the dog. Wow. Okay, you are older than me. Right? You get it? Yeah. It's not even a piece of chalk, it's not even nothing. Include existe, puedes decir blanket, entonces ahorita, concha, se dice include. En este momento la utilizo en el público. What do you make? With the image? Or with the color? The color. And each different color and it works. Yes, it's just cozy, comfortable. Yeah, Michelle, no boxing, not a tiger, and you take nothing, excuse me. Excuse me, there's a influencer, and there's some. I'm sorry. Wait on the description. For bullying me. Que no he aprendido la forma. Write down the date. Write down the date before. Come on, Michelle, don't be sarcastic. Le dice que sí, ella. We're talking basically about the Weissman Day. First, we made like the historical review of it, and now we're talking about how is Weissman Day in the present. But the question was, what about Weissman Day for the kids? What about the Weissman Day for the parents? What about the Weissman Day for the grandparents or for the bakers? Or for example, for the sellers? We all of us, we have a different vision about what the celebration is. Michelle Figueroa, write down the dates on the board with the color marker blue. Please. And it's not the only activity, right? My presence today was no. Ya voy a poner para que se pueda estudiar todo. Yo tengo como hambre. Hungry. Kind of hungry. Kind of hungry. This is your way to do it. Really? Take it back. Pues nos desquitamos. 2023, yes. The Friday in January was the last. In 2023 when do you want to put the number for us? Today is 17. Thank you very much. Never. Only one letter, Your turn. One more time. Is what? My husband. One more time. You can do it. You can. H. You can do it. Remind that we receive payments from the cards of the government as well for an application that is called the Maybe now entonces está como para motivación. Me preguntó si estábamos, pero no. Oh my God! This is not a you, right? So anyway, you lose. I'm sorry. How many are the parts of this tree? How many? Write the number right here. How many are the parts of the tree? It's just a number. Parts of the speech, we're reviewing the parts of the speech. And the question it was just for Michelle, how many are the parts of the speech? Just 100 or 3 or oh my God, what do you prefer? Because live, it's about options, Michelle. So do you prefer that I write complete one of the parts of the speech, or do you want me to write all the details? Lemon or watermelon? Yeah, the other is that I can for example, this is what I thought it was complete. They will go like this. And and this is another page that you can use here. There you go in the fastest possible time. We agreed to have all the initials of the parts of the speech that are N, P, short P, A, P, C, I, and good luck. What is going to happen? It's a great song. Bucket. What? En cuanto le dije Basque, What's going on? That's not the dynamic. You can go back for your present. I don't know if you started, but anyway, it has nothing to do with this because there is no chance for dynamics to develop. Don't pay attention to it. It's just a noun. It's not possessive. This T stands for verb, adjective. Remember that we said that we were going to keep it singular.
Por verbena navideña, considera afectación y las inmediaciones del circuito Plaza de la Constitución. Las alternativas son las siguientes: el eje central e Isosaga. Caminando sobre Avenida Gran Canal desde Oriente 157 y el eje 3 norte. Además, ahorita hay tráfico sobre la calzada México-Xochimilco entre Periférico hasta Viaducto Tlalpan. Sobre San Fernando, pero sigues avanzando desde Viaducto Tlalpan y la calzada de Tlalpan. Las vías completamente libre Avenida Doctor Vértiz, de Torres Adalidas a Avenida Emperadores. Estamos de 13 grados.
If you remember, our position is the same, right? If you see I goes more from the north than you,
Llena tu despensa con 5, 10, 15 y hasta 25 pesitos. En tiendas en línea.
or down to, yes, in and this is for
Ven a Chedraguilandia, la juguetería que cuesta menos. Peluche Ozzy la pingüina for real de 789 pesos a solo 449 pesos. Y muchos juguetes más. Si te acuestas en la cama y te empiezas a dormir.
only because it's Friday. And Tuesday, I'm going to give you an exercise.
Mejor propósito es sentirte bien con Sam's Club. Caminadoras Sport 6.0 a 15,699 pesos en Club.
I am going to write one example.
Válido al 26 de enero. Solo en Sam's Club. Consulta términos y condiciones en sams.com.mx en Club.
Because regularly, any regular day, I give you like, give me one example. So that is too much thinking. So I am going to give you an example. I'm going to say them here. And then you just have to read them. Right? Good.
Consulta términos y condiciones en tienda.
Llegó el bajador de precios Soriana. Aprovecha que la carne de res para asar la bajamos a 164.90 el kilo. O piña piel a 19.80 el kilo. Y aguacate maya a 19.80 el kilo. Sí, a solo 19.80 el kilo. Soriana, la de todos los mexicanos. A enero 9, aplica restricciones. El Tribunal Electoral se transforma y avanza hacia un acceso a la justicia cada vez más incluyente, ciudadana, abierta.
Con la reforma a la Defensoría Pública Electoral para pueblos y comunidades indígenas, se ampliarán sus servicios gratuitos de representación y asesoría jurídica, orientación y coadyuvancia para la mediación y protección de derechos político-electorales de todos los grupos en situación de vulnerabilidad o desventaja histórica.
De esta forma, el Tribunal Electoral refrenda su compromiso de cercanía con la sociedad.
Tribunal Electoral, protege tu voto, defiende tu elección.
Este día de Reyes, disfruta en familia, aún no más. En tiendas en línea. 80s, 90s y más.
Con los precios bajos de Walmart, te hacemos la vida más fácil. Aprovechalos. Frijoles o refritos La Costeña a solo 15 pesos. Walmart, precios bajos todos los días. Come bien. Enero ligero de Móvil ya está aquí. 20% de descuento en todos nuestros planes con envío gratis. Y además, llévate un mensaje en la activación de tu línea o primer recarga.
Ready? Set. Go. Please. We made an exercise of 2 columns in which we have now all the time, all the parts of the speech. They are 9. And we have one example and we're going to relate into 2 columns. Como todas las tengo bien.
Vámonos al año 1982, a lo mejor de los 80. La historia de este grupo, fíjense, comienza en 1964, cuando los hermanos Robert y Ronald Bell, junto con unos amigos de la escuela, forman un grupo de jazz llamado The Jazzians. Ellos muy influenciados, la verdad, por artistas como James Brown, Rick James, que han hecho un estilo basado en el funk y el rhythm and blues. Su carrera, a partir de entonces, la verdad es que ha sido exitosísima. En 1982 sacan esta canción como el segundo sencillo de su álbum titulado Forever. A ver si la recuerdan, se llama Stone Love. Estamos hablando de Kool and the Gang en lo mejor de los 80.
So Michelle is relating two columns. One is with the parts of the speech and the other is with the samples. I was telling her not to give me this tricky thing of putting all in a dot, and that from the there is a way to trick that exercise. Hope it doesn't happen. I think I didn't charge the buds, the wireless buds, because I hadn't removed the. Let me see. Yes, I have to remove this little piece. Here we go. Súper fácil, se ve increíblemente fácil, ¿eh? Okay, Michelle, I'm gonna give you a quick review, but it's not yet quick review, okay? Because according to this first review, the man is people of the world, the attitude is the answer, modifies the first of the other. Origin is showing the races and countries. On those first uses the consideration of the interpretation of a person and the article of the. You should have listened to that. It was a quick explanation of the 9 parts of the speech. to know, you have to join our premium course. Espera que se distrae, mejor me voy. I'm hungry. What is the right way to open this? Because it has a sticky tape in here. But the point is that it's not like, you know, those boxes in the past that you just open and you just cover back and that's it. What happens with these ones is that you have to almost undo all the buffs. Something strange. I'm gonna try again. Unboxing. Check it out. Because actually the cookies are not hooking up. Everything is cancelled. These are ready. Thank you. So it's about for the next is What? Y si quieres ya no orden. Do you have any questions? No? It is very necessary that we review this because they are all the words that exist in English forever and ever. In the Bible, in the Beatles songs, in the songs of Olivia Rodrigo, it's only language I promise you. Okay? Please take notes. Where are you, Marie? Baby, where are you? We just finished the exercise and just the participants are writing down the results for the exercise. If you have any question, just let me know. So.
Fíjese que hoy sería el cumpleaños de un músico, cantante, compositor británico extraordinario. Fue uno de los líderes de Pink Floyd. Cumpliría 76 años. Ellos se conocieron en la secundaria. Él conoció a Roy Waters y él quedó verdaderamente sorprendido de las habilidades que tenía este hombre. Así que lo invitó a unirse a un proyecto musical que tenía con Rick Wright, Whit Mason y Bob Cruz. Ese grupo se llamaba en aquel entonces The Abdas. Más tarde, Sid fue el que le puso el nombre de Pink Floyd. Hoy lo recordamos con esto que se llama Wish You Were Here, que está dedicado precisamente a su memoria. Pink Floyd, en 106.5 mix 80 90 y más.
So you think you can change? You can tell. Morning. Our calls to rest. We never rest. Your heroes for gold. Who breathes a hope for change. You change. Walk on hard in the world. Or lead wrong. What is tropospheric zone? ¿Quién habrá dejado eso? Híjole. How I wish you were here. Thank you. We're just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl, year after year, running over the same old ground. What have we found? Same old fear. Okay, Michelle.
Disfruta de este viernes, que la pases súper bien. Por Festival de Día de Reyes a las 3 de la tarde habrá afectación vial en inmediaciones del Zócalo y las alternativas van a ser el eje central de Sala. Ten mucha paciencia porque en estos momentos periférico está prácticamente detenido. Del sector de 67 y de Constituyentes ya está cargado. Estamos avanzando poco a poco de observatorio hasta lo más alto. Sobre el 1 de mayo hay un poco de asentamientos en cada semáforo desde el ferrocarril de Camarón hasta periférico.
Good production. I like to see you here in the front. It's better. It's just better. That. It's in the world forever. Que nos vemos el lunes, Michelle, y que es productivo que vengas presencial. Obviously. Y te digo que Neri me escribió a su mamá, así de, ¿están en clase? Y yo le dije sí, pero fue como de que ya cuando supo que estábamos, yo le dijo, ay, no voy, me quedo a jugar con mis juguetes. Tú puedes jugar con tu colcha. Así de, ya. Entonces tú ya haces como que te desapareces y andas así. What did the wise men bring to you? That's the question. I think that we're going to